that line could be better, or the melody there doesn't suit me, it's not right?
Very, very rarely that I could, unless it's like difficult to come across, you know, that I can't make it flow. If it seems like a knot, and I can't stand it, because then it interrupts the ambience of the song, you know, the type of environment, like if there's that little knot.
You realize, of course, Marianne Nowottny, that what you have just told me is rare in a composer. Almost everyone, if you look at Beethoven's manuscripts, for example, there are hundreds of crossouts. Somebody like Mozart composed the whole thing in his head, wrote it down. But what you have done is certainly rare among popular composers, rock and roll composers, even people who write rap.
Well, all I can say is that I can admire that, knowing that some people that can write music down and just know, like, see Beethoven, for example, you know, when he was going deaf, and you couldn't even hear his music that he was writing, and he would just write it down and have it, like, the complete, everything that he wanted, and not being able to hear it. And I was watching this documentary where they had to turn him around at his last symphony when they were playing Ode to Joy so he can see the people applauding. And so, until I can really find my own system, because I'm really stubborn when it comes down to learning and putting it like some type of, I don't know, for some reason I don't really want to even try to learn how to read music. But if I can figure out my own system of memorizing, besides just having it up here.
Frank Sinatra couldn't read music, Bing Crosby couldn't read music. These are people from my era, the Andrews sisters couldn't read music, so I don't suppose it's a bad thing. It could indeed be a good thing. You are a self-taught composer. How do you think, if you've thought about it at all, that impacts on the songs you write?
Well, I think it gives them more versatility, actually, because when you come to music theory, or what some people have tried to explain to me when I ask them questions while they were playing the guitar or something, I would get kind of angry to that, like when they say, well, you have to begin this way, and there's structures, and the way you do it, you just switch so fast, and then you slow down, and I don't understand, but it sounds fine. And I don't know, I really don't have an organization, because each piece has its own type of complexity when it comes to that. You know, it's all pieced together, every little bit, every little switch of emotion, you know, and it's strung together. So.
The subject, Miss Nowottny, the subject matter, it's kind of deep for somebody who was 16 years old. You're writing about life and love and a way of behaving, for example, in your title song. Are those the kind of thoughts, for example, that your fellow students in high school have, or do you think that, I won't say they're exclusive to you, but it's the kind of thinking that Marianne Nowottny thinks?
Well, I don't know if that's the word for it. I think it's more of realization, because people all feel that way. It's just a matter of identity, the only thing that separates us from animals. And we are animals, but we like to say. So when you can identify and it is brought to your attention, then you have more of a sense of, I don't know, you feel different towards everything. And that type of knowledge can either traumatize you, or you can use it, you know, for your own well-being.
Why do you call the album Afraid of Me?
Well, I guess I was kind of overwhelmed for a while with whether it was like a lack of self-confidence, but I'd be afraid of what effect I would have on people. And that's what a lot of the songs have like a little piece of, because everybody has that. I mean, if you repeat something about some type of, I don't know, something interesting that you thought interesting, and you wanted to tell several people so they thought you were interesting, and you repeated it through the day to different people. That's so they all can think one thing about you, that type of impression each day. And so, but that impression, it meant a lot more to me. Those tiny little impressions. And so I got kind of nervous.
This acclaim that you've had in recent months, has that helped you with your self-confidence? Or perhaps it's made you even less confident. That can happen too.
Well, to know that so many people really enjoy and they think it's like, you know, a fresh breath of air, to know that somebody is still doing what's in their heart instead of trying to work the system to make some money or get on top of everything and have your face everywhere. It's not really about that. It's just about a true form of self-expression, the best outlet I have, definitely. And without it, even if everything went away right now, I'd still be in my room playing my keyboard, still not reading music.
How did that all start?
Well, my mom played the piano, and she plays it beautifully. Like, it's fantastic. She can play anything. And we had a piano when I was small, and I never tried to play it because I would touch like 2 notes and it'd sound horrible, and I'd kind of walk away, but my mom would make it look so easy. And I'd ask her to teach me how to play, but she wouldn't teach me because she said she got too frustrated when people made mistakes. And so I kind of avoided a predicament like that, so I waited, and I met my friend Donna, who had piano lessons, and she wasn't incredible or anything, she just did basic stuff, but good enough to make up her own songs and to inspire me to buy a keyboard later on and to teach myself, because it was just always a factor in my life. It was always there, and whether or not I wanted to play was all up to me, so I definitely wanted to try it out.
What kind of music do you yourself favor?
Oh, wow. Well, I like a lot of stuff, but I stick on more on the lines of, let's see, Joy Division, which is goth rock from the 70s, some industrial, and synth pop from the 80s. I really like that. Recent Depeche Mode, some classical, like Ravel's Bolero is definitely my favorite song ever.
And the Ode to Joy from the Beethoven Ninth, I guess.
No, that's not my favorite. That's, I don't know, it seems mocking. As much as he like found beauty in it, you know, it's like, it seems mocking.
All men or all women are not, all men are brothers, I think, is the good Ode to Joy. Doesn't say anything about women in there. Does the thought enthrall you at all?
Well, a lot of things do that would come up like that, and to pinpoint that, well, it was his. Well, no, that poem wasn't his, but
He used somebody else's lyrics.
yeah, and somebody else's lyrics, then I don't have to blame it on Beethoven.
I'm going to read a quote, which supposedly you said, and get your reaction to it. The best advice I've ever received was, don't take life seriously. If that indeed is true, Miss Nowottny, why not?
Well, my grandfather always used to say, don't take life too seriously. Because when you do, you're going to have so much more grief and stress, and you're not going to be able to, you won't see the forest for the trees. You won't see the beauty that really is there, that the reason why you're living, and you work almost mechanically. You gotta stop, and you gotta understand, you know, why, not exactly why we're here, but that you're lucky enough to be alive, and there's many joys involved with that, and definitely stick to humor.
Let me see whether or not I have the lyrics of the title song right, Afraid of Me. Is it a young lady talking to her boyfriend who is urging upon her that she make love and she does not feel she is ready? I just want to see if I'm right.
Well, it was about how boys were really, and still are, callow. And that was what he had in mind. And I'm telling him, like, yeah, if I were in love with you, but I'm so completely callous right now that I worked up so much, like, that's my only self-defense mechanism, is that to block people out of, like, trust and affection. But, I mean, I was playful, you know, like how I ran away, you know, at the end, and we just were good friends, but couldn't take it to that point where I'd be in submission to get myself hurt again.
How does the performance thing affect you? Standing up in front of an audience. You, of course, have not had a great deal of training from what I have read, and some people might be absolutely frozen when they see those faces out there. How do you feel about performing?
Well, I was kind of scared at first, but it's not like being in a play and being completely scared, shaking in a felt costume, you know, in third grade. I had my own set, I had my own environment, you know, and I felt comfortable and wearing what I felt like, and my lines are my lines. You can't screw up your own lines. And so it was scary at first, but now I enjoy it very, very much.
You get the bounce back from the audience?
Yeah, not only that, but as the fear goes away, I can see it as something that's just not like an obligation at all. It's something that I look forward to, that I put my heart into it now. And as time goes on, I can get more creative and learn from what I've done before.
Marianne Nowottny, are you writing these songs? Are you performing these songs for the people out there, the ones who listen to your CD or the ones in the knitting factory where you've performed? Are you doing what you're doing for you?
Well, it started out as definitely for me as a hobby, you know, as like just a little art form that I just loved, and sometimes I wasn't even really serious about it myself. But now I think I have a goal. When I get to that point, I want to make people forget that they're awake.
And go to sleep?
No, just forget that they're awake.
And kind of be hypnotized by your words, your melody?
That'd be very flattering. Yes.
I want to read you a quote from John Pirelli's, the critic of the New York Times who covered your opening at the Knitting Factory, and get your reaction to it. He writes, I quote, "Under her keyboard, a boxed plastic flower, illuminated by fiber optic threads, changed colors. Two wind-up chipmunks sat on top of its box. Behind her was an electronic bird that flapped its wings and could chirp Beethoven's Ode to Joy." What is the purpose of those props? Is it to make what you're doing visually entertaining as well as orally, A-U-R-A-L-L-Y?
Well, actually, they're fun for me, for the environment that I've been trying to, like, you know, to feel comfortable, because you should see my room and what I usually wear from day to day. And it is fun to go all out. And instead of wearing a sequin dress, like if you're just gonna go up there and sing in front of like with a piano man at some club or whatever one night. So, you know, girls would wear the blue sequin dress and do their hair all nice. Wow. I would love to have a complete theme where it's not about that type of dressing up, but dressing up with like my imagination, like practically painting the stage was something that goes along with the theme of the music. And it is, and it's fun, and it's also to be visually entertaining, definitely, because when I look at shows, I would want like the quality of something. Sure, I mean, people can say that you don't really need it, you just need a guy up there with a guitar and a microphone, and you can do the rest. But no, I mean, I really enjoy it when you take the visual, the auditory, you know, and the concepts of the song, and you mix it all together, then it's definitely an environment. And if I can get like some type of, if I made it more interactive, I don't know, we'll see.
Now, just judging by what we've said and by my having read write-ups about your performance and about your songs, I would guess that you are in the upper 10 percentile of your class. And don't take this as an insult, but I would guess too that you're an intellectual. If I'm right, I may not be. How do the other kids react not only to that, but to your having had some success in the world of entertainment? The other kids you know, your friends or your acquaintances.
Well, people just treat me a lot nicer in high school, but no, I was never like the valedictorian type. I would always pick the subjects I liked, and what other subjects I didn't like, I practically ignored through high school. So whatever I liked, I did very well in, and what I just felt like sleeping in, I did. So, and I'm stubborn. But all I've been doing is really treating me nicely, and I've been getting recognized, and they renewed my gym membership because I was in the New York Times, which is very good. I'm really happy.
Maybe you don't have to climb the rope in gymnasium.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, so, but my friends, they show some jealousy because a lot of them are involved with music, but some got inspired, which made me really, really happy to see that something like, you know, someone so close could really get their shoe in. So.
Well, it's been a great pleasure for me speaking with you these past 20 minutes. You being the 16-year-old singer and composer Marianne Nowottny, pronounced it properly that time, whose latest CD on the Abaton label is called Afraid of Me. Good luck to you, and thank you for appearing on Voice of America.
Thank you very much.
This is Martin Bush, VOA News in Newton, New Jersey.
Thank you very much.
This is Martin.
Wow.
Thank you.